Raised by a single scavenger alone, the baby girl started a business and earned over $100 million after 25 years. Sell the company and travel the world with my father. Repay him with the rest of my life. There is a very popular father and daughter in the mainland. Her father Zhang Shuangqi is 75 years old, and her daughter Zhang Baizhi is 25 years old. She sold the company she founded in 2021 and bought a station wagon to take her father to travel around. Surprisingly, they are not related by blood. There is a touching story behind their father-daughter love, which has touched many netizens. Now their Douyin account has accumulated nearly 4 million fans. It turned out that an abandoned baby was adopted, and her father raised her by scavenging waste. Zhang Shuangqi was originally an ordinary villager in a rural area in Henan. In 1997, he came to the field to prepare for farming, but found a child wrapped in swaddling clothes in the grass of the field. At first, Zhang Shuangqi thought that the child was lost by the parents. So he took her to the village committee to inquire about the whereabouts of the child's parents, but after a long time, no one came to pick up the child, so he knew that the child was abandoned. At that time, people around him advised Zhang Shuangqi not to mind his own business, and some people said that baby girls are worthless and advised him to ignore the child. But Zhang Shuangqi felt that he could not just ignore it, so he took the child home. He is over 50 years old. Due to poverty and short stature, height 1.48 meters, he has never married a wife. Alone. Personal livelihood is a problem, and it is difficult to raise another child. Really. As soon as the decision was made, it was blocked by many people in the same village. They persuaded him not to do such stupid things. Anyway, the girl is a waste of water sooner or later, and it is useless to raise it up. Zhang Shuangqi was firm. I'm just trying to sell everything I can, and I want to raise this girl up for me. On that day, the baby girl got her own name, Zhang Baizhi. To commemorate, Zhang Shuangqi also made a special trip to the city, squeezed half a month's wages out of his teeth, and took her for a photo. Thereafter, the father and daughter hold big hands and live in a 10-square-meter mud-tiled house. Although the conditions were tough, Zhang Shuangqi devoted all he had to give Baizhi the best conditions. He was starving himself, eating bran and swallowing vegetables, and buying the best milk powder for her. I was wearing a patched and ragged shirt, and I had to buy her the warmest padded jacket. Later, in order to give Baizhi a better life, he even worked multiple jobs. Picking up trash, digging medicinal materials, growing wheat, doing odd jobs, in the wind and rain, like an old cow, working day and night. But he also tried his best to take good care of the child and let her receive education, but the gradually growing white pigeon began to enter the rebellious period. Feeling the difference between himself and his classmates, and felt that everyone's clothes were always bright and bright, but I only have a few sets of old clothes back and forth. And everyone will be picked up by their parents after school every day, and they have never seen their mother. Later, when it rained heavily, her father came to school to pick her up with an old umbrella, but he also picked up this umbrella from the garbage dump. When her father walked towards her slowly with the umbrella, Baizhi hid on purpose, far away, not wanting others to recognize the person in front of him as his father. Zhang Shuangqi silently handed the umbrella to Baizhi, and walked home alone in the heavy rain. Feeling the hard work of the father and daughter embraced and cried. Zhang Shuangqi, for the sake of his daughter's self-esteem, stopped picking waste during the day from that day on. Instead, he went to work after the white pigeons went to bed at night. back home, but Bai Jie continued to rebel and was very indifferent to her father, and Zhang Shuangqi also endured it silently. And after Bai Jie entered high school, in order to allow her to continue her studies, the family's expenses were extremely low. Because Baij needs to live on campus after entering high school. Once she came home early, and her father just went out, she was looking for food in the kitchen, and saw that the food her father usually ate was only dry steamed buns. He overturned the table because he hated the food. At that time, his father just cleaned it up without saying a word, and suddenly he felt guilty. He decided not to go to college and stepped out of society early. Later, Bai Jie decided to lie to his father in order not to let his father continue to work so hard. "I didn't want to go to university," and said, "I want to see the outside world." Seeing that her daughter had made up her mind, Zhang Shuangqi supported her. Bai Jie went to work as a waiter in a restaurant in the city. A salary buys Dad a clean and soft bed, which makes him as happy as a child. Later, Baij had the idea of starting a business, so Zhang Shuangqi took out the rest of his money and said, "No matter what you do, as long as you don't break the law, Dad will support you." But Baij's entrepreneurial journey was not smooth at the beginning. The products could not be sold. And she also suffered from kidney disease, and she was getting thinner and thinner. Her father ran around raising money to accompany her to Beijing for medical treatment. But because the accommodation in Beijing was very expensive, the two father and daughter could only rent the basement, which was a full house. 1 month. But then they could no longer afford the money, so they had to go back to their hometown. At first, Bai Jie was very depressed and even had the idea of committing suicide. But seeing her father taking care of her day and night, she knew that she had to cheer up. When she got better, she started selling skin-care products online. Later, she started to make videos to promote products. There was not enough light at home, so she used a torch instead of lighting. When the business started to take off, in order to better promote her products, she began to use some daily life, including the little things between the two parents. Make a video and put it on the internet. And gradually become a popular internet celebrity. Encouraged by her father, she established a studio, purchased her first delivery van, and expanded the business with her own team. After a successful career, she decided to close the company and travel with her father. After several years of hard work, her business has flourished and she has earned more than 100 million yuan. She moved from the countryside to the city and lived in a 3-story villa with her father. But at this time, her kidney disease relapsed again and she needed to be hospitalized. Her father, who was over 70 years old, still took good care of her. And seeing things also became slow. After she got better, she resolutely decided to close the company in all branches, and take her father to travel all over the country, cherishing the time that father and daughter spend together. Bai Jie confessed that he worked hard to make money at the beginning to let his father live a better life and feel happy. Now that he has earned the money, he knows that the happiest time for his father is when father and daughter are together, so he decided to spend the most time. Accompany him well, repay him, and want to take my father to travel around the world in the future. Many people said that Zhang Shuangqi found a treasure, but Zhang Shuangqi never cared whether he was doing well or not. I only care about the happiness of my daughter. After the two became popular, Zhang Shuangqi asked Baij to find his biological parents many times. He said, "In this way, there will be one more person in the world who loves you." Bai Jie said that she only loves her father in this life. even if they get married and have children in the future. They will take him with them to spend the spring, summer, autumn and winter together.